guess I wanna get you going. Yeah. Anyways, hi, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. It's I am Mikael, and today I have a story time for you guys. And this one is the time I went to jail. Stay tuned. So, welcome back to my channel, y'all. I got a lot of energy today, so I want to do another story time, and this one is, as I see it, the time I went to jail. We ain't gonna mess up on this bang today. We're not gonna mess up with this bang today, okay? The tactic is to go up, down. Before I was doing this shit, and for some reason it was fucking. You gotta slide, baby, smooth. Okay, anyway. So today's story time is the time I went to jail. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have a criminal record. Ga-da-da-da-da. It's what is that? It's the one and only D.O. Double G. Snoop Dogg. Yeah, I went to jail once, right? So, I don't know what made me decide to tell the story time today. But yeah, it just made me think about it. I guess I'm ready to tell it. I don't think I guess publicly, why would I have told any of these story times? Because that would have been weird. I was supposed to say, I've never publicly told this. I have never publicly told any of them. Anyways. But yeah, I just thought about it. And it's kind of weird saying that. Like, I have a criminal record. Because I fucking do. Anyways, this is my fucking first and last time. First and last. But this story time actually starts way back in the day, right? In like 2011. My fucking back hurt. In like 2011, I was in a mutual friend of mine and family members. It was her birthday, and she had asked us to join her. We used to work with her. She used to be one of my old coworker, and so she like called us up, asked us if we want to hang out on her birthday, and it was three other people of her friends, and then us is her friends on this side, and then she had three other friends that we did not know, right? And so we packed in this motherfucking car that we didn't know we were going to be fucking packed in, because she did not tell us there was going to be three other people in a goddamn 5-seating sedan. I'm going to just keep saying sedan every time I talk about a car, because I don't know them. Anyways, it was a 5-seater, and it was 3, 1, 2, that's 6 of us. I know a little math. And so me and my mother chucking our mutual friend, anyway, me and her had to squeeze, because we was only black people. And hear me out. There was some fucking racist ass people in that motherfucking car. And not because they were not black, but because they caught a black person so they called this black dude that they almost hit the N-word. And that's how we knew. I'm just playing. Definitely didn't know. I didn't think that I fucked up. I think I was about to wrap my motherfucking hands in that front seat and pull that bitch's neck back. But I didn't. Because that ain't how I went to jail. So anyways, this racist hoe was speeding, and the cop pulled her over, and as she tried to, provide her white tears so she can get out that ticket, it didn't work. However, he then wrapped around and saw that me and the other mutual friend was not in a seatbelt, and not on some racist stuff. He just noticed, right? And I think he also probably smelled the weed that they were smoking, because me and the other black girl didn't smoke no weed. These fucking thugs. Anyway, let me stop. So yeah, so he realized these little thugs was smoking some damn weed. And yeah, he started like checking in the car, and we ain't got no seatbelts on. And well, we didn't have seatbelts on. But when the cop pulled up, she got the seatbelt. I did not. Now, I honestly, it was for some reason I always regretted that for a long time. I regretted letting her take the seatbelt. Because I kind of like, I was in that woe is me energy. Like, I felt like I fucking Neville from Harry Potter, why is it always me type shit. And because all of that stuff had transpired just because I got this fucking ticket, for like, I don't know, I let it eat at me for years that I felt like trying to be the bigger person or the nicer person and letting her take the seatbelt, even though she's older than me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like one of them, no one protects me kind of things. And then, but it's kind of woes me energy, because if I wanted to, I could snatch that bitch and put it on, or pay off the fucking ticket way sooner, or not do dumbass shit and end up in jail. I.e., get over the shit. I'm telling the story now. So yeah, she gets the seatbelt, and I'm just like, yeah, like on some thug shit, I'll take the fall. And I end up getting a ticket, because I didn't have a seatbelt on. Ooh, excuse me, I just got off work. Anyway, so I ended up getting a ticket because the seatbelt situation. The cop was a cool guy, whatever. But yeah. So years later, this is like 3 or 4 years later. You see my point? I could have been paid it off. I had a job. But so years later, I meet my ex, and you know, we're in our relationship and shit, and things start fucking up. And this is at a point where, like, I probably had seen so much so much cheating. I don't want to say like I ever had proof. Like, at that point, I didn't have like proof that he was cheating. It was just a knowing. It was more like a, you know, I gotta work late, and then working late one day turns into working late every day, turns into, you know, oh, this is just my schedule now. Like, you know, they just changed my hours, knowing damn well it was bullshit, but I can't prove that until I could. Right, so this was pretty much the energy of my relationship at the time. It's pretty much him working late and me not believing that he's actually working late, right? So, one night, right, I'm like in my head heavy. I just know I'm being cheated on. And I just kind of got tired. But I was like, when you're at that point where you know something's wrong, but you can't prove it, and you're tired of guessing. You're tired of trying to figure it out. You're tired of investigating and all that bullshit. You're tired of the drama of someone playing with you. It's like, at what point, my whole thing when it comes to cheaters is, at what point do you just say that you're no longer interested in the person that you're cheating on and just go with the person that you're cheating with? Like, for how long? I don't know if I understand. The hell is that? I don't know if I understand cheating for years. Do you know what I mean? Like, here's my thing. If I'm a fucked up person, because I would never do this, but if I'm with someone and I have a yearning for someone so much so that I am willing to sneak around and lie to this person, if the yearning is that fucking strong, I would just go towards that person. I don't think I would see the point of getting my head into my mind into a headspace where I'm like, no, but I love you. That's weird. You know how foul you have to be to get to a point where you just don't mind, like, turning it on or turning it off, or what the fuck, I don't know, and just be like, no, I love you. Like, what do you? I wouldn't cheat on you, and you just keep doing that for years. What? You got? How could you? I low-key feel like you have to be mentally unstable. And that's no shade to, like, mental health. You'd have to be mentally unstable to be able to pull that off and not be at war with yourself daily. That would eat me. How can I focus on my career? How can I focus on raising my children if I have to constantly, like, jump personalities for these two different men. And that's this is fire. This is fun. Because that's what you're doing it for, right? Because you're having a good time. But this isn't a good time. So why am I... It's cold as fuck. So why am I juggling these emotions? If I could just be happy. If I could just... You know what I mean? So to me, you got to be a special kind of fucking weird to be a cheater. So to be on the receiving end of a fucking mentally unstable weirdo is weird. Weirder. Because I'm not getting the vibe that we're clicking. You know what I mean? It's like, when do you get to the point where you just say, hey, Mickey, I don't want to be with you anymore? Right? So I'm at this point where I'm on the receiving end of this, where I just can't fathom why we would be in this knee-deep ass relationship and I'm still getting I can't shake the feeling that I'm being cheated on. And like I said, it's not as simple as like I'm just like insecure and I'm like, oh, I know you're fucking cheating on me, you fucker. No, it's this chick is popping up at locations she shouldn't know about unless you tell her. You know what I mean? Like, how, unless you tell her or unless she's following you, right? And I can understand, like, a man ain't gonna tell the person he's cheating on, or that, because that's weird. Like, you wouldn't want those two people to obviously know about each other. So the only other way that this could happen, right, is you'd have to be going to that person, and then that person's as weird as you are, and they're following you as you go home. And then they're just like, hey, hey, new chick, I want you to know that I know. I don't know, right? And I, I had already had multitude of issues of this chick popping up at our location. But I had assumed at the times that she was doing it, it is because this is some place that he's lived for years. And this is his family's house, right? So obviously, if he had been with her previously, before me, she would know his family's house. And we're staying with family. So she would know that he's there. But once we moved, we're in a new apartment, our own place. How the fuck she know where we live? Unless she followed. You know what I mean? Unless she followed you while you was sneaking and craping. So, yeah, it wasn't like me just guessing. It was like, okay, shit just doesn't add up. And he always portrayed this person as this very, this is the person I told, Richard, the person I told the story time about, where he would try to, like, oh, you're young this and you're young that, and we're the same age, and I'm literally older than him by a couple months, but we're the same age. But he would always treat me like, oh, you're young this, insecure that, you're childish this, and you're immature. And it was because she was older than us. He was into older women. She wasn't the only one. But yeah, I've told this story about he's an ageist. Or he was, I don't know. But yeah, so it was, I was going through some things. Right? And I don't know if I could honestly say what transpired to get me to the point where I lose my fucking mind. But I just mean, it was like so much different stuff. I don't know what the straw that broke I don't remember what the straw that broke the camel's back was. Which was just fucking crazy to think that I lost my shit over something that I don't even remember for a guy that I am no longer with. And you know what's funny? Because like when I have like conversations with, fellow women about like shows like Snapped and shit like that, this is why I've gotten to the point where I worked on my anger issues. Because I can't see me ever going through something like that again. And the end result be that I was fucking right. Imagine that, right? So anyways, It was something to do with the same ex of his, that basically, oh, you don't have to worry about her type shit, right? But it just kept showing up that something's wrong here. No one's popping up at you. No ex is popping up at their person's house for no reason. Either the person that's doing the popping up is fucking crazy, or the person you're with is lying to you. Now, I'm not saying it's never people are crazy. I've seen some shit. But she wasn't popping up on crazy shit. If that makes sense. She wasn't popping up to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you want another woman. She's more like popping up on some very proper, very demure, like trying to be funny. And it's not like he's being like, hey, what the fuck you doing here, bitch? I don't think he should call her that. But it's not like he's on this defense of like, what are you doing here? It was shame. The man had the fucking looking down and, oh yeah, no, I know that she needs their daughter. I know she needs this. And you could just tell it was the energy of, which is funny because I ended up finding out that these people used to get off on me finding out. Right? Like, so I mean, genuinely get off. Like, let's say me and him argue, right? He would go running to her, but he wouldn't run to her on some, hey, I need that old thing back, right? It would be more like, she'd be like, hey, how are you doing?
I would also like to add that this is not the only people who've done this type of weird shit. They get off on something about me.
And he'd be like, like, oh, I'm down, whatever the fuck. Work is hard, blah, blah, blah. And, we're all fucking alcoholics, right? So soon as somebody like, hey, well, you want to meet up and drink over conversating about how your fucking life sucks? And then they go hang out and shit like that and be getting drunk. And then I would come up. And then he would be talking about how he doesn't understand why I don't know that he loves me. Fucking nuts, right? And he wants me more than anything in the world. And so she would just be pretending like she's being his bestie. I know you. You just had this big...
I have been told that there are husbands who fuck their wives at the thought of me. Y'all stay safe out here. It's weird.
Alright. Because, they exes, right? They had a kid together. So she just knows how much he has this big old heart. And sometimes, chicks would just try to use you for your heart. The nerve of this bitch, right? Cause you snooze and you lose. And now all of a sudden you know how to treat them, huh? Why do the exes all of a sudden know how to treat their man when I get with him? He eating good over here. But anyways, who cares, right? So she's like, oh, you got a big heart and blah, 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 whatever the fuck. And, your money and all this shit, right? So then he's probably, I said probably. So then he's soaking it up. Yeah, cause I would never. The nerve of that nigga. Cause he cheated on her before. So, but I would never hurt a woman because women are God's gift to earth. And then they would get off on this thing where I'm such a fucking horrible woman and she's just like the bestest friend to him that, oh, I don't see why she's doing that to you. Just for these niggas to... And he will come right back to me. And I don't mean like literally come right back to me, like, but I mean still be like, oh my God, Mickey, I want to be with you. And I'd fall for the shit because I don't know that yet. I didn't learn this shit till like years later that niggas was really fucking on my demise. Like just getting off on the ideal that I'm hurting him and she's gonna save him. Right? So then he'd come back to me and I was... Ew, I wouldn't smell... I wouldn't smell nothing, literally. I mean, God. Oh, that would make me throw up. Like, dead ass. Oh. No, I wouldn't literally try to smell him. Just like senses. Like, my senses would be like, I could smell that he was doing other things. But, you know, it's one of them things you can't quite put your finger on. You just like, something's off. Like, we are cool. I can make a motherfucker laugh. And all of a sudden, my jokes ain't funny. Nigga? Huh? I have any no? Okay. Cool. And I'm like, I'm a little different now. But back then I was very much in my people pleaser energy. So it would put me down, like, if we're like that. Like, we're like fucking best fucking friends. And then I'm like trying to tell you a joke, or like, I don't know. Looking back, I feel like I looked like a kid who was trying to get the attention of her parents. And they're completely disinterested because you're not actually that funny. Kids ain't funny. Sit your stupid ass down over there. And it would drain the fuck out of me, right? It would just constantly drain me to the point where now I'm not trying to be funny. Now I'm not laughing. Now I'm not telling the jokes. And then it to be flipped in this, what's wrong with you? Or like, you know, why are you acting like that? How come you don't do this anymore? How come you don't do, like, my light was so gone, right? And so when we got to this point where I lost my shit, I was drained of my energy. This was in the beginning stages of my alcoholism. I think I was like 2 years into my alcoholism. I don't know if that was necessarily the beginning. Well, I'm only going to say beginning stages because I was probably downing like maybe a bottle of wine. 2 bottles. Or like a bottle and a half. Right? The end stages. That wouldn't have got me nowhere. That would have been like a chicken finger to a lion. I'm gonna need a lot more than that. Yikes. I don't miss that shit at all. But yeah, it was like the beginning stages of my alcoholism. So I'm probably on like my second glass of wine. And I want to say that because it would always happen where we'd be fucking getting drunk, watching something, and we'll be watching something that has to do with cheating, and I'll get triggered. Actually, you know what? No, I wouldn't even get triggered. It would be that he would correlate the movie or a show to our relationship and then start asking me dumbass questions. Like he doesn't know that he's cheating. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I think one time we watched Fences, right? And he's like, what would you, like, in this kind of, like, what would you do? Like, damn, I don't even understand. Like, that's fucked up. Nigga, you been cheating on me for 10 years. Like, it'd be like some shit like that, and I would get fucking triggered because it's like, why are you acting like you're such a good guy? And I think by the time we saw Fences, I was aware that he had cheated on me before. So it's like, shut up. I can't stand that shit. If you're not a good person, can you just fucking just let us know? Like, damn. Ow. I can't stand a pretender. I can't stand people who pretend to be good people. The wolves in sheep's clothing ass motherfuckers. Like, I aim to bring out the fucking wolf out of these people. Show me, bitch. I want to see you. So you can find out what the fuck I am. I ain't no wolf. I ain't no sheep either. I feel like a fucking sacrificial lamb. But I think that's what's so fun about it sometimes. It's not when you're in the moment of it, but being the sacrificial lamb is like, you bring the wolf out of the sheep. And then the fucking dragon's behind my ass. And I may get fucked up, but you finna get more fucked up. And then I'm like, boom, I'm fine again. And you're not. But anyways, yeah, so he's in his wolf and sheep ass fucking clothing energy. And I know it was like something like that, and we had to be watching something because that's literally how most of our fights started. Just gluttonous as fuck, and our gluttony ass goddamn energy, just fucking overindulging in some shit. And we started arguing. And back then by this time, my anger issues were my anger issues was fucking showing its ass. But, like, I think, I'm pretty sure I, like, punched him in the face, like, twice. And this is not something that I used to fight a lot. I told a story time about that because I got bullied a lot, so I used to fight a lot. But I wasn't the type of person to hit people first. I didn't do that. I didn't hit people first. I didn't, like, basically I just defended myself most of the time. All of the time. It was just me defending myself. But with me and him in our relationship, we would get drunk as fuck and we would argue and things like that. And then it's not a small man. So he would, like, purposely, like, in my face type shit and be like, and it reminded me of my father who would do that, who would get drunk. And this is not any excuses, because domestic violence is domestic violence. So hear me out. I deserve this whole fucking thing. Oh my God, I could have got so much worse too, and that's what's fucking crazy. But I didn't know that then. I didn't think that then. I was victim. I was straight victim. Which, not to say that I wasn't, but I wasn't. So he would basically do this thing that my father would do, right? So he'd get really fucking drunk, and because I'm outspoken, or I would speak my mind or try to defend myself, and try with my father, but with him I would be defending myself, like, don't try to play me. He would do that thing where he's getting in my face, he's drunk as fuck, I smell his breath, he's spitting, and I think a lot of me, a huge part of me, hated that I never got to fucking sock my father in the face for real. And I'm only saying for real because I got a story time about that. But because of being triggered by my father swinging on me, my father punching me in my face and shit like that, I assumed that he was going to do the same thing. Because I knew, well, I didn't know, but with my father, if I would flinch, or what he would call flinching, because I think flinching is just moving in general, right? Like, if something's coming at you, you move. But he would consider me flinching as me about to swing, which I don't get, because usually if you're fighting someone, you're about to go forward, right? But I feel like when you're flinching, it's usually you going backwards. So if I'm going backwards, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you swing at me, I'm gonna duck that shit. I don't give a fuck if you want me to be scared and you want me to just sit there unless you punch me in my face. I got some mad fucking good ass reflexes. I'm telling you, I've caught fucking baseballs from far away that I didn't even know were coming on some fucking Superman shit. Just for everybody to be like, oh my God, Vicky! I got fucking smooth ass reflexes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I can just be like fucking catching bullets and shit. I wouldn't be surprised to have some smooth ass reflexes, like some damn near superhero ass shit. And I got witnesses. I might low key be, look out for me. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's me, nigga. Anyways, I don't know where the fuck that came from. Anyways. That's like some smooth ass reflexes. So yeah, I'm a move if I got it. If I don't, it's gonna connect. Well, shit, we fighting. But I assumed that he was going to do that, right? So when I went back, and he went from a throat, I punched a nigga in the face. To me, that's still self-defense. But let him tell it. He's gonna say I just used to punch him in the face. He'll never tell you that he's a big motherfucker. And, yeah. But whatever, right? We passed that. But, we're grown now. So, this is literally like fucking 10 years ago. Yeah, this was like 10 years. No. Yeah, it was like 10 years ago. Damn, that was a long time ago. But anyways. I think the gods were out of that one. When I say I dodged. Fucking Neo in this bitch. So yeah, one of those moments, and so I socked him, and that ensued like fucking like glass breaking, bottles and fucking shit being thrown, right? And so for him to, basically him trying to avoid this turning into a severe domestic violence situation, I don't fault him for that. But at the same time, because I had finally found out evidence, right? So basically what I found out, I don't know what started. So what I mean is, I don't know what started the argument. I don't know how we got here. But basically what I found out was that one time we were having an argument, not like a severe one, but basically one of like, do we see ourselves going any further? Now, this is a conversation that he initiated. Like on some, I think we should break up, but I'm not gonna be the one to break up with you. I want you to be the one to break up with me, because he ain't got no balls. And so, I used to have him in my phone as coward. So yeah, I genuinely used to think he had no fucking backbone. But, so I'm like, I'm trying to be, I was trying to be in the energy of like, I don't want him to know that I still want the relationship. I want him to feel like I don't want the relationship either. Shit, fuck you. But I didn't know. I don't know. I guess I just looked at it like I was going to be nonchalant. And it backfired. I don't even know if I can say that. I feel like it was basically, I knew that we were not meant to be, right? We were getting to a point where there was no happy moments. There was no memories being made anymore. It was just, obviously there's memories, but no good memories being made anymore. And so I wasn't like necessarily trying to be nonchalant in a way of like manipulative, but I didn't fully know if I was ready to give up on the relationship, right? But then it turns out, so what I found out was when he wanted to initiate this conversation, it is because he wanted me to move out so that he could have his ex move in on her birthday. Yep. So when that's when I'm like, I don't think it backfired. Yeah, it didn't backfire, but I had decided, it didn't backfire on me. I had decided when we had the conversation, fuck it. Like, I don't see this going anywhere. So, yeah. And so I go outside and I'm smoking. That's when I smoke cigarettes. And I go outside and I start smoking. And that's when he changed his mind. And he's like, no, yeah. And we start crying and shit. And it got all sentimental. And he's like, no, I think we can work it out, blah, blah, blah. But fast forward, I find out that that's what it was. When I'm like, well, fuck it, I don't want it either. Then it was like he didn't have the balls to just let me go. And that's literally ended up being the direction of our relationship. Is me wanting the relationship to be solid, him running, then me being like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want it either. And then him being like, wait, no. And then me thinking that, okay, he does want it. Oh, we could work on it. Yay. And then him being like, It was almost as if, when it wasn't genuine. I'm not saying like he realized how much he loved me, and so he fought for our relationship. And yeah. And then as soon as I start chasing him, then he's like, oh, it's too much love. I gotta take some space. No. It's more like, I don't want to see you glow up after me. I don't want nobody else have that pussy type shit. It wasn't real. It wasn't like he would actually change anything. It wasn't like he was like, hey, let's start going out on dates. Like, we had so much fucking problems in our relationship. So nothing would change. I didn't see the difference. I didn't feel the difference. I didn't hear the difference. But I would hang on anyways because of that. Eventually, that cycle of the fear of being alone, the fear of starting over, the fear of having a child without a father, the fear, that type shit. But cycle was disgusting. Like, looking back, I don't know how it lasted that long. But yeah, so basically I find out that he was a trifling ass motherfucker and he was gonna move his ex in on her birthday as this gift. Mind you, the woman knew we lived there together. That's nuts. I don't even understand how a woman could know. And mind you, this is a brand new apartment. We weren't there long. But it's like me having an ex. My ex, right? Boom. He gets a brand new apartment, right? I find out that he has a new girlfriend and she's been living there for a couple of months, right? And then I find out, okay, they're about to have a baby, right? Or they're planning to have a child, right? Boom. And now I'm like riding past that motherfucker and I'm just like, damn, me. And I'm acting like I'm fake classy and shit and being like, oh, your daughter's need. And then him being like, yeah. And his new girlfriend's in the background fucking cooking and chopping up onions and shit. And I'm just like, okay, I'll see you later. And then I just keep doing that a couple fucking times. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I want you to move in on your birthday. You're not gonna ask what happened to the girl in the background who was chopping sausages? Yeah, baby, I'm moving. Huh? What? Nigga, do you know that I could see you? The fuck? Yeah. So I guess that was the plan. And how I was wrapped up in this is beyond me. Know your worth, ladies. Gentlemen, know your worth. Know your worth, please. You would do some dumb ass shit. It's not even doing. You would just stick in. You would just... Which is weird to me. Because it's like... I've been with men with more money. And I've been with men who look better. What did I think he had that other men didn't have? But, you know, kids. So yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's having children with people, because like you gotta have a lot of mental trauma to stick in some shit that is so obviously disgusting. But it's like, is it obvious to you at the time that it's disgusting? Or it just becomes obvious after you heal and you're like, huh? What? My daughters could never. So yeah. One of them situations, so boom, right? He tries to run out. And I think it was on some, like, I seen his phone and I'm trying to look through his phone. It was one of them situations. So he tries to run out and leave, right? But then he turns it into some, like, I'm trying to keep him there. And I'm just like, nah, let me see your phone, right? And he's, like, running with his phone. He hops in his car and he tries to skirt off. As he's driving backwards, I am literally running, grabbing big-ass bricks. I don't know how I did this. Because at the time, I wasn't even athletic. I wasn't in shape. This was at a, not even the peak, but like like I said, the beginning stages of my alcoholism, the beginning stages of me gaining, like, I think at that point I had gained like 30 pounds. I didn't even get to the 50. Yeah, I think at this point I like gained 30 pounds in those beginning stages of my alcoholism. No, I didn't even gain 30 yet. I think I gained like 20. I was like 154 and I had gained like 20 pounds. 30 pounds. Ooh, chilly. But yeah. So I'm like fucking picking up these fucking bricks and I'm running back to the car and I'm like, boom, right? I had at least, y'all, thrown like maybe 5 fucking big ass center block bricks as this man is pulling backwards and then skirting off. And what I'm saying is, so like say this is parking lot, right? This would be him parked here and he's trying to go there, right? So he's turning and he's doing this. how the fuck I picked up 5 cinder blocks and they're not next to the car. So it's like, if this is the parking lot and the car's here and he's got to do that thing where he maneuvers out, right? I'm like around the corner. So this is the parking lot, and then it's like the brick apartments, and then it's like around the corner. So I have to keep running to this parking lot 5 times with big ass center blocks. Like, you would think there was something in my drink. What is a drug that makes you, I guess, like dummy hyper? I don't know drugs. But just think of a drug that makes you like stupid fucking superhuman. So I'm fucking taking these So I'm just taking these big fucking bricks. What time is it? Has it only been so I'm just taking these big ass bricks, right? And I'm just like fucking running. And I'm like, boom, right? And then I'm running back and I'm just like, yay! I'm just So the last 2 bricks is as he's driving away. I'm just like, fucking. And then I run, and I get the last one, and I just fucking yeet it. I don't know how I did this. These things were not light. But maybe because I was drunk. Like, I don't know. Do you get super strength when you're drunk? Or do I just get super strength when I'm mad as fuck? Because I've been told that I'm like super fucking strong when I'm mad. So maybe alcohol just fucking doubled that shit. But I'm just like, I don't know. Fucking ninja shit. Just. I had to have looked wild. Anyways. So by the time I'm done with all these bricks, I have exhausted myself, right? And he kind of drives off. I go into the house. I'm just fucking fuming, right? Or yeah, I'm fuming. And maybe like 10 seconds later, right? I hear mad sirens. And so like maybe this didn't happen as fast as I think, but I was drunk, and so maybe this happened super, I don't know. Because I don't see how it could have been too slow. Like he would just be like, right? So even if he's not moving out as fast as like fucking this, I don't see how it would be, right? It would still have had to been quite a fast process. But, so I'm hearing like mad sirens. And as I'm hearing these mad sirens, I immediately get paranoid. But at the same time, I'm like, no way there could be cops that fucking fast. Because how? This situation happened so fast that it's like, how could there be that many cops that fast? Because they're like, woo! I mean, like, you could hear a few of them. So then, like, all of a sudden I hear, like, loud ass banging at the door. Like, doom, doom, doom. And mind you, I don't even know if I want to tell that part. But, so I'm just hearing, like, boom, 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 right? And, well, maybe the sirens weren't as fast. I don't know. But just banging at the door, and it's like, you know, police, step out of the fucking apartment. They didn't say fucking. They're like, yeah, step outside, basically. And I'm just like confused because I'm like, I don't understand, right? You know, and drunk. I'm like, how could they be here that fast? I just did that shit and blah, blah, blah. So eventually I just open the door and I go outside. The door, they handcuff me and they're like dragging me they're not dragging me, but they're like, I'm here like fucking shit. And they lock me in the back seat. I'm fucking crying, damn near throwing up. I think I did actually throw up because I was crying so hard. There are certain reasons why I was crying harder than normal, and it was not because I was drunk. But I don't actually feel comfortable talking about that right now, so I'm not going to. But let's just say it got really fucking disturbing. That's how I'm gonna put it. It got disturbing. They made some threats. That was very unnecessary. And you're probably thinking, it's not that I don't want to tell my truths. It's just, this isn't the story time for that. Yeah, it's not. It really isn't. So basically, like, I'm crying. I'm damn near fucking throwing up. Or I think I actually did throw up. And, you know, they're like feeling some type of way about me throwing up in their car. And he's in the truck next to the squad car that I'm in. He's in the squad truck next to mine. And they have him handcuffed also. However, his door is open. So I'm automatically assumed he's not going to jail. My mother shows up. She takes my son. And, she looks fucking disgusted and disappointed at me. And I'm like, life's over. I'm going to hell. I'm in a fucking rut in that backseat, I'm telling you. Probably one of the hardest fucking days of my life. So eventually, I stopped crying and shit like that. It's one of those. It's just me. Like, I think I've gone through so much shit that I will cry hard as fuck. And then after that, I just won't give a fuck no more. Like, I just get really fucking numb as fuck. So going through the process of that, I go in there and I'm at this point where I'm just like, I guess, curious to know what it means. I was so fucking numb. I just really started getting interested in what it was like to go to jail. Now, I'm not like interested. Like, I'm like, ooh, so what's that? Not like that. I'm just looking. I'm like, oh, this is a jail. This is what jail looks like. Oh, this is what the process looks like. This is what processing looks like. Oh, that guy's over there screaming, banging his head towards me. There's a fucking guy in there. It's like, no, in processing, right? They're in this processing area. I guess the women and the men are in this. No, they're not in the same cell, but they're in this. This is a building, right? It's the same building, so you can see men locked up and you can see women. You're being processed, but then eventually you go, where the women are, where the men are. So I'm like in my coldest, heartless, nonchalant, just fucking leaning back on this chair. I didn't give a fuck. I said, fuck it, I'm here, right? Just didn't see the point of crying anymore. I'm already here. Like, I'm looking at it like my life is over. Because I'm under the impression that I'm going to fucking jail for domestic violence. For domestic violence. And not for hitting him, because I didn't hit him. But I'm not, I'm drunk. Like, at this point, I don't think I'm drunk anymore. But it's like, I've been drinking. Fucking emotions are high. Adrenaline's rushing. I feel like I'm about to lose my fucking child. I mean, the fucking turmoil that I just went through from even getting arrested, it's just like, yeah, I'm thinking, I'm about to be here for years. And then I had just let it sink in. I had just decided that I didn't care anymore. So I didn't. So I'm leaning back and I'm watching this man lose his shit. He just fucking banging his goddamn head up against this fucking thing. It's not funny, but now thinking about it is like, how did I manage not to react? And I don't know what I would react like now. I probably would start laughing. I low-key would either start laughing because, like, what the fuck? Or I probably would start crying because, like, damn, fuck. That man was losing his fucking mind. And then next to him is this man just like he finna get my number. Bro, do you know where you are? Do you know that I can see you, nigga? So I'm like emotionless as fuck, right? And I'm just going through the process. And then I'm getting stamped. And there's a mugshot of me out there somewhere. I've been trying to find it. I'm trying to find it before I get famous. And somebody be like, she's a fucking felon. I'm not a felon. Thank God. And I can at least be like, yeah, I got it too. Bitch. Making my screenshot. Nah, fuck that. I'm accepting all my goddamn baggage. Shit. I'm accepting all of that and yeeting it. Because, shit, it is what it is. Yeah, so I'm getting all that done. And I think I was in there for like maybe 24 hours, right? Where you got to carry your mat. And so I started off in Clark County Detention Center. Yeah. And because that's where I got arrested in Vegas. And like I said, I was gone. So I'm in the jail cell pissing. Not like in a weird way, but when you're in a holding, the toilet is in front of everybody. And I was just like, yeah, I'm finna pee because I gotta pee. And it's not that it's weird that I'm peeing, because you gotta pee, you ain't got no choice. But it's weird for me. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would have been probably trying to hold it. Like, oh God, please don't look at me. Or even probably just try to make it funny. Like, yeah, my bad, y'all, damn. But me, I was so gone. Like, I was so fucking, like, I was so fucking angry and disgusted, and I wanted that man to die. And so I'm just like fucking I just spit it everywhere. I'm just like fucking straight face, just and people are like, chicks is looking at me like, the fuck is wrong with her? They looking at me like I'm about to lose my shit. I'm about to, you know what I mean? So I didn't really have to do the like, who I gotta fight in here type shit. I'm over here on one of these. I think they were scared already. I probably look like a fucking goner. So I'm just fucking tweaking in my corner. I'm fucking tweaking in my corner, right? And then, oh, it's funny. It's funny now. Thank God I got through that shit. And then, like, I think I get a phone call. I don't know if I called. I don't know. But I get a phone call. And, like, everybody else is getting on the phone. Because it's your first phone call. Everybody's getting on the phone and they're, like, crying. You know, they're women. And they're getting on the phone and they're fucking crying. And they're like, oh, my God, you know. And I'm getting on the phone. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I think it was my parents like trying to say that they're gonna try to I don't know, figure whatever out, and then I'm just like, yeah. They're like, you alright? Yeah, I'm good. I was straight. I didn't give a fuck. At this point, I done been through every fucking thing. I ran from fucking pedophiles and perverts, and I've fucking been chased down by fucking dogs. I've fucking been abused. I done gone through damn near 2 different domestic violence situations. I've been fucking domestic violence while I'm pregnant. I've ran from cops. I've fucking sold drugs. You know what I mean? I done fucking been thugging it out, cripping, and I wasn't crying. I'm just like, yeah, right? Like I said, people looking at me like I'm tweaking, because I didn't give a fuck. Then they transferred me, and I ended up in Boulder City, which is because, so what I find out is, they were trying to hold me on something. There was no domestic violence. There was no property damage, none of that, because they tried to find people to say that they seen me throw the bricks through his car, but nobody would say that they seen me. And I suppose he did not want to press charges, or he didn't press charges, so they had nothing to hold me on. So they then decided that they wanted me to at least pay on the fucking ticket that I owed 5 years ago. So I spent 3 days in jail because I didn't have a fucking seatbelt on. I am a thug because I didn't have a seatbelt on. Can you believe that? So yeah, pay your tickets, because if you fuck up, you'll be screwed. They're gonna get your ass. So pay your fucking tickets. Pay your traffic tickets, right? So I ended up in 3 days in jail because I owed $300 on that ticket. And so they transferred me to Boulder City because that is where I got my original ticket 5 years prior. So I was in Boulder City. And though it was way nicer of a jail, they were kind of trying to make something stick, right? So I wasn't supposed to spend 3 days in jail. I was supposed to spend like 2 weeks in jail because they were trying to make this misdemeanor stick. But they couldn't. Well, I don't know if they couldn't. Yeah, I don't know if they couldn't. I didn't know that yet. But my ex bailed me out of jail. Right? So he bailed me out of jail. They gave me like money. Then I was supposed to take the bus from Boulder City all the way back to Vegas. Whatever. So now I gotta travel all the way the fuck back by myself. And then I had to walk because I had no more money after taking that one bus. And it was a different type of bus, so I don't think there are like transfers or anything. And so I ended up walking like for like 2 hours to get back to the apartment. And when I got there, I was still very much in this nonchalant mode, right? And I had not eaten the entire time. So when I make it back, he's already in there. And so when I knock on the door, he opens the door and he just starts bust down fucking crying. And I couldn't come out of this like energy of like, I fucking hate everybody. I hate all you motherfuckers. So I'm just like, as he's like, which I don't mean to talk about him now because that's, but at the time I'm just looking at him like, you fucking disgusting bastard. And I'm not like saying anything. I'm just staring at him. And like, I don't know. I couldn't talk. I didn't want to say anything. And mind you, I wasn't talking to anybody while I was there. I had one conversation with a roomie that I had in Henderson. I mean, not Henderson, in Boulder City. Now I'm actually confused. Anyways, yeah, but so anyways, I'm looking at him like, the fuck? And eventually we end up having a conversation, and then I just bust out crying. Like eventually, no, he left for work. He's like, oh yeah, can we have a conversation like when I get back, blah, blah. And when he leaves, I bust out crying. And I just cried. Because I could not believe that all this shit just even happened to me. But it was my fault. I shouldn't have got mad. It's not even that I shouldn't have gotten mad. It's one of those things where it's like you finally got the proof that you needed. You should have just left. But I felt so fucking disrespected and disgusted by him that I just fucking snapped. This is why it's so important to find your worth outside of any relationship. This is why it's important to have worth outside of your relationship. So if your relationship does not work, you don't lose your mind, because it isn't worth losing your mind. It just isn't. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't back in the day where you're losing your man to war and you know what I mean? Like you're a widow. This is just dirty ass niggas doing dirty ass shit. Do you really want to lose your freedom for that? You want to lose the opportunity to be fucking cute? You want to lose the opportunity to I don't know, date somebody the fuck else? You have opportunities outside of fucking jail and prison. Don't lose everything over a man to get stuck around a bunch of women while he can also be stuck around a bunch of women. It's like ending up in fucking prison over a relationship, and now that person can do whatever they want. Make it make sense. If nothing else, think of it like that. If you go to jail, they could do whatever they want and you won't know. Unless you know what I mean? And, well, that's just, I don't know. Because it's like, is it even worth it? So no, now they can't do anything. And now you can't do anything. Who's winning? You know what I mean? Just, if you ain't got it figured out up here, stay single. Yeah. Or if you got it figured out up here, but you know that person doesn't, don't lie to yourself. Shit, we know. You know you ain't got that shit that figured out. But I did not have that shit figured out. So, obviously, I should have stayed single. But yeah, so he's bust down crying, blah, blah, blah. So, to wrap this story time up, right, what I find out is when this transpires, he speeds off. When he speeds off, this shit's crazy. The reason why the cops were there was because we were arguing. Somebody called the cops on us. And the cops came. We told them, like, no, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. They never left the fucking apartment complex. Or they did, but they hid on a little bit outside of the apartment complex. We, not knowing that we were getting set the fuck up, still arguing, loud as fuck, right? They never come back to the door. So when he decides he wanted to leave, the reason why he decided he wanted to leave was because when I started going at it like, oh no, I want to see your phone, blah, 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 right? He knew that it would escalate. He knew that it would escalate if I got into the phone because he was cheating. So when he's like, no, you don't want to see what's in my phone and kind of shit. So he's leaving. But when he's basically like, you're not going to like what you find. It was best that we don't drink and we didn't date. But in this situation, it was probably best that he just said, hey, I want to leave so this doesn't escalate because the cops was just at the door. But we're drunk. So he's just like, nah, you don't want to see what's in my phone because basically you're going to be mad as fuck. And you're already mad and the cops was here and you're just going to get madder because you're finna see some shit. Then I get angry because I'm like, see what? See what? Bricks, bricks, bricks. The cops are right there. But because they hide out in the outside of the apartments, they don't see me throw the bricks. They're just hearing shit, right? Well, I don't even know if they, yeah. So they're basically just hearing shit. So they're setting up, bop, bop, right? But by the time they're trying to come swoop in is when he speeds out. They stop him. I'm already back in the house. They never actually see me throw the bricks. So when they see that, obviously they know from coming there that there wasn't the car was not smashed up, and now they know. You know what I mean? They're not dumb. They know, but they just never seen it. So when he's like, "No, I'm not going to press charges," they're like, "Let me run your name." So when they run his name, they see that he has a traffic ticket, and his traffic ticket was. It was worse than mine, but it was still a traffic ticket nonetheless. He owed way more than I did, and it was like, I think it was like speeding, and it was like speeding tickets. Yeah. It was speeding tickets, and it cost way more than mine. So they're like, you have a warrant. And you see where I'm going with this? And they're like, oh, you got a warrant. And so if you don't tell us if she put the fucking bricks through your window, we're going to take you to jail. He chose me. So, like, tell us her name. So when they run my name, no, they don't tell him to confess that I put the bricks through his window. Because he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to press charges. But because they ran his name and he had a traffic ticket, they're like, tell us her name. So he gives up my name. Because he gives up my name, I have a traffic ticket also. Which means I have a what? A warrant out for my arrest. Excuse me, I gotta blow my nose bad. So I have a warrant out for my arrest. And they're like, you need to tell her to come outside, or basically it's her or you. He chose me. They came to my door. I opened it. I go to jail. That's why he's sitting in the car and I'm sitting in the car. I find that out way later that basically he sacrificed my ass. That's why I said sacrificial lamb. But like I said, there's a fucking dragon behind me. So do you think this man ever went to jail again? Yes. And was it because of me? No. Get this. It was because of the same bitch that he was cheating on me with. Years later. It was actually funny about this is, years later, this ticket comes back up. It gets sent. I get an email. And they're like, hey, you have a warrant out for your arrest because blah, blah, blah for this ticket. And I'm like, yeah, this is a scam. It's got to be a fucking scam. I spent 3 days in jail. My ticket's $300. That's what? Paid off. As a matter of fact, when I went to court after that, the judge literally looked like, not you went to jail for a traffic ticket. And when they told him, because the cop never showed up to testify against me, that it was more than the traffic ticket. He's basically like, this is dumb as fuck. Let's throw it out. Years later, they had the fucking audacity to say that I owed $50 in that court situation, that I owed $50. Even though the judge threw it out, even though the judge was like, as a matter of fact, give her money back because she spent more time in jail than the actual cost of the traffic ticket. These motherfuckers later had the nerve to say, nope, you still owe $50. So now you owe us $250 or we're putting out a warrant on your arrest again. And I remember I was crying my little heart out. Because I'm like, the trauma I got from that situation, the trauma of knowing that my fucking ex sacrificed my ass because he didn't want to spend more time in jail than I would have. They literally told this man, well, she's only going to have 3 days. And you're going to have like 2-something weeks. Just for me to go in there and find out I was going to have more than that anyways. Which is why he paid for the bail. Because he didn't want me to spend more time in there than what they actually said I was going to. Because he didn't know that they were trying to hit me with a misdemeanor. So imagine when they're like, bop, 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 bop. You still owe $50. Paid off the $250, right? Went to court. Got it all figured out. They're like, yeah, stay out of trouble. But they're still thinking this is a traffic ticket. That's why I'm like, chill out, bro. It's a seatbelt. Stop. Paid off the $250. Do you know that I could see you, nigga? Do you know if you... please don't look at my shit. Today, I looked it up. Not today, literally today. But last year. It's a misdemeanor. They put it on my record anyways. And I don't even know when. I was not privy to the fact that even though I went through all this hell for this traffic ticket, in 2022, they put on there anyways, even though they had no fucking witnesses, even though he did not press charges, even though the cop did not show up, they decided to put on there anyways that I have a misdemeanor for property damage of $250 that I paid off. So to this day, I'm a criminal. That's fucking crazy to me. All that hell just to be like on a job application. Do you have a criminal record? Kind of. Yeah. Anyways, but no, karma did eat his ass up, and that's. Karma always come back around for these motherfuckers. It really do. I'm special. But anyways, that's it for this story time. That's it for this story time. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.